What's up, guys? Once again, it is time to react to your hot takes, your unpopular opinions. I put out yet another call on Twitter asking for you to send me your fighting game, specifically Samurai Shodown or Evo-related hot takes, because those are kind of the topics that are on everyone's mind right now. Samurai Shodown just came out, and Evo's just a couple weeks away, so I'm excited to go through these and see what you guys have to say and respond to them, so let's jump right in. Alright, first up, Hanzo is the best Sam Show character in the game, but his execution makes him seem bad. I think it's strange that you say it makes him seem bad, because I think most people agree that Hanzo is pretty strong. He even won Wednesday night fights a couple weeks ago. He's got, some pretty good tournament results under his belt. I agree he's a difficult character to play. Best in the game, I doubt it, but I think he's definitely strong, and I think everyone kind of agrees. I don't think it's that, rare of an opinion to think that he's strong, but it's definitely a hot take to say he's the best in the game, and I don't really agree, but he's a cool character and a lot of fun to play for sure. Evo is no longer the premier tournament of the year. Combo Breaker is better. So, if you had used a word other than premier, maybe I would agree. If you would say the best tournament of the year, maybe I would agree. If you would say, the most well-organized tournament of the year, I would definitely agree. But for premier, I don't really think so, because when you say something is the most premier tournament, you're implying... So first of all, entrant numbers. For example, Evo, just in Dragon Ball FighterZ alone, Evo has 3 times the number of entrants that Combo Breaker did in that game. Or if you talk about media attention, Evo gets significantly more media attention and it has a much bigger advertising budget. People from all over the world come to Evo. They do that for Combo Breaker too, but they come in much bigger numbers to Evo. So strictly on the terms that you set here, the premier tournament of the year, I think by far it's Evo, no doubt. But I do think Combo Breaker is probably the best tournament from a competitor experience. I would highly recommend people going there. But when it comes to, being a huge spectacle, drawing in the numbers, getting all the attention, I think that Evo still has that locked down. The fighting game community has become too dependent on hype. I kind of agree, okay? Let me explain what I think here. I think people are not satisfied anymore to just have a game that they like to play and just play it. You know what I mean? 15 years ago or something, people who were playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they were not getting any attention. They were just playing the game that they like to play. They were running tournaments, having money matches, stuff like that. They were not getting sponsored. They were not getting YouTube famous. They were not getting highlighted on Sports Center. They just played the game that they wanted to play. And, that pretty much applies to all fighting games before sort of Street Fighter 4 came out and blew up the competitive scene. But nowadays, a game can have 700 entrants at Evo, and people will be like, that game's dead. Like Soul Calibur. People are like, Soul Calibur 6 is a dead game. But, no, 700 entrants is a lot of entrants. It's insane to me. So I think people definitely, they want to chase whatever's popular. They want to get on the bandwagon. They want to be a part of the hype. They don't want to just play a game that they like to play. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think the hype is a lot of what makes fighting game tournaments exciting. But yeah, definitely people are a little bit more easily swayed by sort of what's popular on Twitch, what's popular on YouTube. Stuff like that is definitely impacting people's decisions a lot more these days than it used to. I just scrolled past a stack of arena fighters are bad takes, so I hereby declare that an ice cold take. I have to agree. I think that every time I do one of these, I get a lot of posts about arena fighters being bad. I get a lot of posts about SmAsH isn't a real fighting game. I get 100 of those every time I do this. Or, tier lists don't mean anything. You can win with anyone. Tier lists are stupid or whatever. These are ice cold takes, guys. Do better. I hear these constantly, and they're all wrong. I mean, the arena fighters thing I kind of agree with, but the other two are just kind of asinine and very unoriginal. So I don't want to see those takes in my inbox anymore. Get them out of here, guys. Sam Show is the video game equivalent of that game where you put your hand over your friend's hand and then they try to slap your hand from above and you have to react fast enough to move it out of the way. I kind of agree. I kind of agree, but I don't really... I feel like you're putting this as a negative, but I see this as kind of a positive. I don't know. Obviously, Samurai Shodown's not just reactions. It's about reads and stuff like that. But I guess you could say that about the hand slapping game too. It's about reading the mind of your opponent and punishing their tendencies. So yeah, I guess I agree. It's a fun game, guys. Dragon Ball FighterZ would still be one of the most popular fighting games if Bandai even remotely communicated with the community. So yeah, like, I definitely think the lack of communication has been pretty bad for Dragon Ball FighterZ. We still don't even technically know who the next character is. Like, we all know it's going to be Janemba, but they haven't announced it, and we certainly don't know when he's coming out. And have you seen this new thing now where, like, they announced that a tournament was going to be part of the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour, like, a week before the tournament happened, after signups had already closed? Like, what's going on with them? But I don't think communication is the only problem. I think the other problem is just that, like, clearly they're working on stuff and they don't have much for FighterZ right now. They have 6 DLC characters that they have to stretch out across 12 months, at least, maybe even more than 12 months. And that's just not a good recipe for maintaining hype for the community. So I think the numbers would have dropped a lot no matter what, just because, you know, the new game shine is wearing off. But I think also the fact that Season 2 is being kind of a pretty big letdown for people because of how slow it's been and how little content there's been. I think that combined with the communication issue has led to kind of a lull in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Not a lot of people excited about the future of the game right now just because we don't really know what's coming. So I think a combination of factors are at work here. Brawl is the best SmAsH game content-wise. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I have not played Brawl single player. I only ever played Brawl like over at friends' houses. But from what I understand, this is a pretty wild take. I mean, Brawl had the Subspace Emissary thing, which I think a lot of people liked. I never played it. But, like, SmAsH Ultimate has an insane amount of content, guys. I know a lot of people don't like World of Light, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I think the classic modes are really great. You know, I do wish that there was stuff like Break the Targets, like more character-specific stuff. But at the same time, since there's like 80 million characters or whatever, it would be pretty hard to do all that character-specific content. So I think SmAsH Ultimate has a pretty insane amount of content. But if you guys think also that SmAsH Brawl is the best content-wise SmAsH game, let me know down in the comments. I'm interested to hear if anyone else agrees with this take. I think SamSho will die out fast. Being 100% footsies based, training mode just isn't effective, so nothing will really get anyone hyped because we've seen all the game has to deliver. No crazy combos or insane mix-ups to keep the crowd pumped. Well, I guess my counterpoint to this would be like Super Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is still a very highly played game, and that game doesn't even have training mode. You can't even play training mode in that game. The only way to do it is like with an emulator or with a Capcom Classics collection or whatever. So I think that a game can have a very long, sustained life cycle just by being a fun game to play with other people. Not every game has to be like a training mode monster game. And stuff like crazy combos or insane mix-ups, like, people can be entertained without like huge flashy things happening on screen, you know what I mean? Like Third Strike, sure, there's no like crazy combos or whatever, but there's stuff like Daigo Parry, which was like the hypest thing to ever happen in fighting games, and I think that Samurai Shodown has the potential for similar stuff with its defensive options like Instant Guard and Parry and Blade Catch. Like, I think if someone lands Parry into Super Special for like an ultimate comeback win, like, people are going to be insanely hyped for that. It doesn't matter that you can't do like a 30-hit combo like you can in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Stuff like that is really hyped to watch. So I'm not worried at all about SamSho from a spectator experience. I do think it's inevitable that next year SamSho is going to have a lot less interest than it does this year. It's a brand new game at EVO, which is so rare. So I think the numbers are probably going to drop a lot just because a lot of people are entering it because it's so new this year. And maybe people will try to spin the narrative that SamSho is a dying game because it's not doing as well as it was when it was brand new. But personally, I think it's one of the most exciting spectator games right now. And I hope that that continues to carry over through EVO and beyond. So we'll see. Tekken should be the face of EVO this year, not Street Fighter V. I feel Tekken is a more interesting game to watch than SF5. I generally agree that Tekken's more interesting to watch than SF5, but I think at a high level both can be pretty exciting. But as for what should be the face of EVO, I assume you're talking about what should be like the final game at EVO. And while I think that Tekken has a lot of merit, because even though Street Fighter V has more entrants than Tekken, Street Fighter V, the number of entrants is going down every year. And that's true with basically every game. Usually when a game first comes out, it has a huge peak, and then it slowly trickles off as the years go on and people kind of lose interest or start playing other games. Whereas Tekken is going up every year, which is super rare. Tekken 7 is getting more and more entrants every year, and this year it's up like 300 from where it was at last year, so that's pretty insane. So I do think it has some merit there, but I think really the last game on EVO Sunday should probably be SmAsH. It has by far the most entrants at EVO. It seems clear to me that more people are going to EVO to play SmAsH than any other game, so why shouldn't they get sort of the biggest exhibition? Plus, the bright side about this is I can go to bed early. I don't have to stay up and watch SmAsH, whereas if it was Tekken, maybe I would be staying up till the very end watching the tournament. I'm kidding a little bit, maybe. We'll see. But I have a feeling that Street Fighter V is going to be the last game just out of tradition, and because Capcom and EVO have this long history together, I have a feeling it's going to be SF5, but I would be happy kind of with Tekken or SmAsH being the last game. I think either would be an interesting change. And with that, guys, we're done with the video. So once again, be sure to follow me at Crofts on Twitter, at CROFTS. You can keep an eye out. I usually do these about once a month, so you can see when I'm doing the next one, and you can send me your own hot takes if you want to be in the next video. And with that, we're going to close things out. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.